Hey guys, it's Larry Williams. Basically, I just wanted to come on here because I was doing a lot of thinking. There's some things I'm going through that's like it's got me confused, vulnerable, and kind of scared. I don't know what's going to happen next. Only thing you can do is look in the past and stuff like that. But I just wanted to come on here. I was for something I figured out or found out. Not really found out was cruising online or figured this out. But basically, I was doing some homework, and I always put a YouTube um, playlist up because normally if you pick like a singer like Kirk Franklin or Fred Hammond, it normally has like a list of just like the videos are all just songs, so it plays continuously. And so I had Kirk Franklin up, and I was watching this, listening to it while I'm doing my homework, and it comes up to him just talking, which was kind of different because it wasn't a song. So I took and clicked on it. I started watching it. It was actually a Bible study before they started recording. Um, but I feel like I have to say this to some people because I have friends that's going through some stuff also. I mean, whether it's something like an unplanned pregnancy, which I don't know anybody like that, but I mean, like if it's a situation like a breakup or a situation where you don't know where you want to go, where you're supposed to be, if that's how you feel, um, just want to let you know that God's not going to let you go through something that He knows that He can't take you out of. Um, Something big that just really helped me because I just thought about it like you sit there, you're in these situations, and the only thing you think is bad, but it's always for a good reason. There's times where I look back in my past, like what in the world was I thinking? Why would I do that? That's made me a better person because of it. And it was his plan, of course. He's the only one that knows where you're going to be in 10 years, 15 years from now. He's the only one that knows, not you. He doesn't even know if you're going to be there. He knows if you're not going to be there or not. So it's actually his plan. So basically, what I wanted to tell you guys was, whatever you're going through, it's for a reason, and there's no reason why he wouldn't be there for you. He said he'll never leave you or forsake you, so he's always going to be there. You just got to make sure that you stay with him. Um, the way Kurt Franklin put it was, you're going through all this stuff and all these situations that you don't like. All right, so you have like, put in an analogy that Kurt Franklin said. You have a raw egg, crack it open, you eat it. It's not gonna taste good, really. I mean, I've never had it before, so I wouldn't know. But more than likely, it's not gonna taste good. Most people do it for protein, for bodybuilding and stuff like that. But I've never seen a person just randomly eat a raw egg for no reason. Um, Another thing, flour. You don't just take flour and throw it in your mouth, do you? You know. And then a stick of butter. You don't just bite into a stick of butter. Well, some people do, I guess. I don't know. I've heard of it before, but butter doesn't taste good by itself, does it? Not that I know of. But it's funny because you sit there, you add a little bit of sugar, you add all those ingredients together. Those things are nasty by themselves together. And you put sugar and like a cake mix in it, and you have what? Something that's really good. That normally by itself won't taste good. You know. So all those little things that don't taste good, like the way I'm gonna put it this way, you are a bowl, you are a mixing bowl for a cake. God's put your body in there, which is the cake batter. Well, the main ingredients for the cake and the sugar. That's you. But then you have the things that make you up, that makes you a better person, like the raw egg, which is disappointment, something like that, or the flour, which is something you're going through, something like that you dislike because it's hard, it hurts you. You've been through it. You're going through it. It hurts. Um, and the stick of butter is like just aggravation or something that you don't like that you're going through, something that's gonna make you a better person. So you go through all this stuff, and by the time you mix everything together, it makes you. Because it's like me, I've been through things, I've gone through things, I've done some stupid things that don't make any sense, but it made me a better person for it. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself as I'm listening to Kurt Franklin that it makes complete sense because if you've never gone through it, how are you gonna know what to do in a situation? You're not gonna be where you're supposed to be if you don't go through things before you get to it. And God even says you're going to go through trials and tribulations before you can get to where you're always going to go through trials and tribulations, but it's going to always make you a better person, as long as you stick with Him. So, like, there's things that I've done that I'm looking back in the past, like I was an idiot, but at the same time, it's like if I wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't be in the situation I am. You know, if I wouldn't have done like some things, I think if I wouldn't have done some things, I would be like either in jail, doing something bad on the west side or something stupid like that. But yeah, it's just things that you go through. You gotta learn from mistakes, which you're gonna have mistakes, so you have to learn from them. It just depends on how you take your situation and run with it. Because I've been in situations before where I'm like made fun of and stuff like that. I'm like, why would I go through this? This is stupid. This doesn't make any sense or something like that. And then turn around and I look at it now. Like back in high school when people used to make fun of me. I look at it now. Look at some of the situations that those people that were making fun of me are in. You know, 3 kids, not married, 3 baby daddies, or even in jail, stuff like that. And I'm in a situation where, what, 5 years later from graduation, all the time that I spent in high school, the years I hated of my life, but it sits there and makes me a better person. You know, I've been to the lowest of low where I haven't had, like, I lost all my money, I lost everything basically all my stuff that I had, I lost it. But yeah, it's crazy some of the things that you have to go through to make yourself who you are. And I just wanted to let you know that if you're going through something, like say you have family problems and stuff like that, that everything's gonna be all right. You just sit there and pray for it. You know, pray, listen. He'll tell you. He'll guide you. If you do decide to do something, if you're not really sure about what happened or what you should do, um, keep praying while if you're doing it. Like if you decide to leave, keep praying while you're down there or wherever you are, because even though this may not have been, uh, this may have been what you wanted to do, God always knows what's going to happen. So he already has a situation to pull you out. So um, basically, if you have a problem like that, or if you have this is a big one, relationship problems. If you get broken up with, somebody breaks your heart, you gotta let it go. You can't sit there. You gotta sit there and be depressed for a little bit, be sad for a little bit, but don't be there. Don't be sad for a long time, because it's just gonna do nothing but hurt you even more because you're thinking about it. Once you actually forgive the person and move on, everything's gonna be great for you. You're gonna find somebody else. Maybe they realize that you are the one, and they'll come back to you or something. But don't sit there and be depressed like for months and months and months at a time. I don't care if you're with somebody for 10, 15 years. If they decide they want to leave you or something, it's obviously they have problems. But if you stay depressed for a long time and stuff like that, you're always thinking about them. You might pass up on an opportunity. Somebody that's better than him or her might show up, um, but you'll miss it because you're too depressed. Or if you do end up finding somebody, they might end up being a great person that you really just don't pay attention to because you're still thinking about that last person that hurt you. So you're like taking it out on them. You never let them actually fully treat you the right way because of your last person. Um, so basically, forgive. Once you forgive, it'll be off your back. Um, you can move on with your life. Uh, stop using the past to make excuses for your present. I'm sorry. The past is the past. It happened. There's nothing you could do about it. You can't go back and change it. If you can, let me know because I want to go back and change some of my stuff. But uh, as of right now, it's impossible, and it will probably never be possible to go back in time. So, if you want to keep thinking that, go ahead, keep trying, but you're never gonna find a way. But anyways, as I was saying, you never really know where you're supposed to be until you go through something. You can't go to where you have to be unless you go through this. If you go through this, if you go through this, if you go through this, go through this, it'll get you to this, which is the whole picture. You can't go to the whole picture without going through all these things. So whether it's money situations, which would really be horrible, or family members situation, or faith situations, or something relationships, stuff like that. Everybody has problems. I've never seen a person in my life who has never had a problem. I mean, even God had problems. Jesus had problems when he was here, but you don't see him not getting on the cross for our sins and saving us. You don't see him doing that, do you? He did it anyways. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, you might be going through all this stuff. You might be going through all this stuff. It might be putting you down in your spirit. It might be putting you down. Any kind of other situation, any situation that puts you down, that's keeping you down, you gotta let it go. You gotta figure out how to do you, take care of yourself, and don't worry about what other people are doing, because if I was worried about what other people, you know what, I'm not even gonna lie. I always used to worry about what people thought about me, and it didn't get me anywhere. Now it's to the point where it's like, if I was we were at Bishop Park's church in Columbus, and they had a speaker, which was his last name was Cunningham. I can't remember his first name for the life of me right now, but he was there, and he was talking about how if somebody hates you or somebody doesn't like you, it's because you're anointed. I really thought, it was really hard for me to think about that, because it was like, I was trying to figure out why I was like the way I was, and I went in the military. I learned how to not worry about, like, it's basically not show emotion, but at the same time, it's like you don't really care about anything as long as you get your job done. But it's like, it really made sense to me for all the stuff that I've gone through, just from him saying that one thing, that if somebody doesn't like you, that means you're anointed. And it makes sense, because not everybody's gonna like you. I thought I could make everybody like me, but there's people still that don't like me, which is fine with me, because it makes me a better person that I know that people don't like me. So, well, it's not like I don't want to be liked, but it happens. So basically, the two things I wanted to tell you guys was, if you have problems, it's normal. Everybody's gonna have problems, because if you don't have any problems, you're not gonna get anywhere, because you won't learn from it. If you don't learn from it, how are you gonna get anywhere? You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So, it's like situations you look at, and it's funny how you look at situations like, we'll make it an easy one, like a big breakup. You were with this person for 2 years, and you thought this person was the one, but they had changed their plans or changed their mind or something, or maybe something came up. I don't know. And you're all depressed about it. But then, like, you keep holding on to it, you're never gonna grow from it. But if you let it go, you'll grow from it. You'll find that person that treats you better. You'll be able to treat somebody else better, because you know what it feels like. So if you never let it go, you'll never learn from it. If you never let it go, you never learn from it. Or if you are in a situation where you are trying to figure out why things are happening the way they are happening. The other thing when it comes to that, right, why things are happening the way they are, is because there's a plan. You're not going to go through something and then expect for, or you're not going to go through something that's not going to help you out. You might go through something you might think is crazy. There's no point for you to go through it, but there is a point. There's no situation that you can go through that's not going to help you out. So basically, what I'm saying is, you guys got to keep your head up. I mean, look at me. I'm deployable. Put it that way. I don't want to deploy. It's the truth, but it's the truth. But if I deploy, I know when I get back home, I'm gonna be a better person for some of the things that I've had to go through over there. But I mean, like, it's not even really just like physical things; it's spiritual things too. So I mean, like, if you're going through a spiritual pull or something, you don't know what to do. You don't know where you're supposed to be at, what church you're supposed to be in. I can tell you right now, I believe in the apostolic doctrine, so it's apostolic or nothing for me. That's the way I see it. Because even if you go to anywhere else, they're not gonna preach the absolute. So, basically, what I'm saying is, I've gone through a bunch of stuff. Like, I've gone through a bunch of stuff. You know, I've been away from church for for a little bit at one point in time, and it's always pulling me back. It's weird because it's like, it's because it's like there's a hole there once you leave. There's like a hole of emptiness there, and then you're trying to figure out how to fill it up by putting more stuff on your schedule, stuff like that. But it never works. You're always fighting back. So, like, once I found my way back, everything's been going great for me since I found my way back. So it's like that emptiness is gone, all that kind of stuff, loneliness. It's weird because you might feel loneliness in the physical, but you're never really alone because he's always there for you. He's got your back. I know I've been rambling on for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes now. So, but yeah, basically what I wanted to say is keep your head up. You're gonna go through things. It's just how it is. If you look in the Bible, it's gonna tell you you're gonna go through things. So if you're going through something right now, just think about this. You're gonna be good because God's not gonna let you go, not gonna let you down. So He never has let me down, even though I've let Him down plenty of times. And it's it's crazy. It's amazing how He just, like, it's still got your back regardless of what you've done. As long as you change, He's still got your back. So basically, pray about it. Whatever situation you're in, pray about it. Everything's gonna be good. So, even though I don't have like a answer to my situation right now, it's probably because I'm not ready for the answer. So it's all in His plan. He's got your back. So basically, forgive is one big thing that you have to do. If you can't forgive somebody, then you can't be forgiven. So, and then, like, I'm still ranting on about this stuff, but it's crazy because how good He's been to me. You sit there and you go through things, and it's like, really, I went through this for what reason? And then you turn around and you look back. There's some things that I went through, and I look back now, and I'm like, ooh, if I wouldn't have went through that, I probably would be like this, or I would be like this. So it's not like you're going through it for no reason. You might be like sitting there thinking that He doesn't love you, which He does. God loves you, and there's nothing you can do about it. He's always going to. And so you might sit there and think that, but at the same time, He's sitting there thinking, why would you think that? Well, he knows what you're thinking. So you really couldn't hide anything from Him. So if you're thinking that He doesn't love you because you're going through situations, it's because He's making you stronger. It's kind of like that saying, what doesn't kill you make you stronger. It's completely true. It does make you stronger. If it doesn't kill you, you're going to be stronger from it. Breakup, you're going to be a better person from a breakup. Maybe that person wasn't the one for you, and maybe God just wanted you to get out of that situation. If that wouldn't have happened, you might be in a different situation. You might be married, kids, and be the only person really in love because the person that you're with is only with you because you had a baby. You don't want that to happen. You want somebody to actually be in love with you. So you just gotta pay attention to things, and just remember that if you're going through something, it is for a reason. Like my cake bowl analogy. Well, Kurt Franklin's, but I kind of changed it a little bit, tweaked it up a little bit. You got the batter and the sugar. That's normally, well, not cake batter. It's just like the powder for the cake, and then the sugar. That's basically you. And then you add a little bit of disappointment, a little bit of trials and tribulations, a little bit of something bad. I don't know, something dark, a little bit of experience in there too. So you got all that mixed up. That makes a perfect cake. Eggs, all this, the flours and butter, and with the sugar and stuff like that makes the best cake. So you sit there, you're thinking, yes, I had to go through this. Yes, I had to go through this. But then, like, the end result is a nice, tasty cake. So you have all those bad things that are by themselves, like flour, eggs, and raw eggs and butter. You mix it up together with your body, which is the cake, like, you know what I'm trying to say, and the sugar, which will be you. And you mix it all up in a bowl, and then you have the more experienced you, the more grown up you, the more the way He wants you to be. It's like if you wanted to do it as like they use him as a I don't even know, like a person that makes pots. I can't think of the name for it, but he's always molding you and shaping you to get you in the perfect place, the perfect way he wants you to be. You're gonna have times where he's molding you. It's gonna be like it's gonna fall over sometimes or something because it's not strong until it's actually heated up, which will be the end product, which is you as a person. But you're always being worked on. After you become you from all the situations that you've gone through, he's still gonna be throwing a little bit of things at you, so you can you still gotta make the icing. So basically, what I'm here saying is don't give up. I know I've said basically here's what I'm saying a million times, but don't give up. Things are happening for a reason. God loves you, and He's always gonna be there for you. So I know I'm probably gonna lose like people saying, "Oh well, this isn't normally what he puts on YouTube or anything." But you know what? I just felt like I had to say it because if you have to say it, you might as well say it because I've got friends that's been going through things like no other, and I've been going through things, and it's really hard to go through these things, and a lot of times you think you're alone, but you're not. It's funny because here I go again. But I'm over here. I'm down here in Mississippi, and I have one person that I've been hanging out with, and his name is Sergeant Violet. And it's funny because he's an older person, so he's been through a lot more things than I have. He's got me by what 20 or by 10 years. He's like 32 years old or something like that. But he's been through things that I have not been through, and he told me some things that he's been through, and it's funny because you sit there and you're like, oh wow, you think you have it really bad, and then you hear about other things that other people's done, and you're like, oh, that's not really as I'm not. You realize you're not in the same situation, and everybody's in their own situation. So it's like it's crazy because I'm down here, I'm alone. I really don't do anything because besides like schoolwork and maybe this every once in a while. I've gone to the beach a couple times, but or I've gone to the beach once so far, so far since I've been here. So it's not really much to do down here, and it's kind of weird when you're away from your family and friends. That special someone that you have. It's hard to be away from them because you're like, it's not really nothing you can do about it, but it's it makes you really think. It's like when you're far away from places like I'm from Ohio, so when you're so far away, when you're down south compared to being up north, and you don't have people that you're normally with all the time, it's kind of different. It's completely different, but it makes you stronger. Keeps you from well, not doesn't make you strong, but it basically it makes you think about things. Like it's made me think about. Hold on, there's a train coming. It's basically made me think about things like why and what's the reason, stuff like that, which would be the same thing as why, but it's like you think about it and then you really start to actually understand some of the things that's going on, especially if you don't really pay attention to it or you just think you're thinking present. You think present and past, you never think future. Like that was my problem. I always thought about the past. Like I've been hurt by people and that's the past, And then I'm thinking like how it affects me right now, and how it's affecting me right now, as in the present. You know, I recently actually opened up. I was been on lockdown since the last time I got hurt by somebody, so I've been on lockdown, and I recently opened up for somebody. So it's kind of weird because it's like I'm thinking about the future now because of this situation, like this whole situation with when I was listening to Kurt Franklin and stuff. You open up. I opened up a while back, but I didn't realize that I opened up. It was probably like 3 weeks ago that I actually opened up. So maybe even 4. It might have been 4. Let's see. Yeah, it's been about 4 weeks. It's been about a month since when I first opened up. But it's weird because it puts me in a vulnerable state, and I don't like to be in that situation. But it's weird because I didn't even recognize that I opened up until like 2 weeks ago. When I first started feeling like, wait, why do I feel like this? Because before it was like, the first time I got hurt, it's like I locked up. Like there was nothing I can. There's nothing I wanted more than just lock up. I was done. I didn't want to do anything else. So basically, what I'm trying to tell you is well, with the situation now, it's like I'm going through this stuff, and it's funny because the reason why I'm going through this stuff is because I'm looking at my future. I've been looking at my future for the past month. Okay. Before that, I was all present, present, present. Now I'm actually looking future, and it's making me realize that the things that happened in my past is because of what's going to make me better in the future. So I'm thinking ahead of schedule instead of thinking right now, which you always have to think right now a little bit, but um, like you don't think, oh yeah, I'm gonna go outside and play basketball tomorrow and I'm gonna hit 42 points in a game. Nobody ever thinks that because you never know how your opponent's gonna be. So basically, I'm thinking right now, as of right now, like me talking to YouTube, you guys. I'm thinking right now, and then I'm also thinking about my future, like where I'm gonna end up, and the past, which makes me think about the past. The future makes me think about the past, so I can know what I'm going through, and what I've been through, or what I'm been through, what I'm going through, and where I'm gonna probably hopefully be. How this is gonna make me better. I know I've been ranting and raving, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get off here. But yeah, y'all think about that. Y'all think about that. Past, present, future. Don't think about think about your past because it makes you the way you are now. Plus, it's gonna help you in your future. Um, and if you've changed from your past, don't let your past hurt your present or your future. Grow from it. Grow from things that you've gone through. Grow from things that you've learned. Just grow. Don't decrease. Increase. All right. Well, God bless.